And welcome into another post-game edition of Spits and Suds. I'm Gavin Spittle of 1053 The Fan. Well, win or lose, we're here for you on Spits and Suds. And unfortunately, there will be a game 6. It'll be Saturday night. Game time announced at 7 o'clock at the American Airlines Center right here in Dallas-Fort Worth as the Jets shut out the Stars 4-0, extending their season and forcing that game 6. The Jets were desperate, and they showed their desperation tonight. They kept it simple, they played smart hockey, and they outshot the Stars 35-22, but it seemed like it was a lot more. As the Stars struggled to muster any kind of offense, the penalty power play, should I say, was ineffective, going 0 for 4 tonight. And then we have the penalties, which continue and hopefully will not be the downfall of this team. However, 5 power play opportunities, and we have said on previous Spits and Suds, one of the fears is that this Winnipeg Jets power play, no matter how good the penalty kill is for our Stars, you have to remember that this Jets power play was one of the best in the NHL throughout the entire regular season. That just doesn't go away. Specifically when you have talented offensive players like Morrissey, Scheifele, players like that. So Winnipeg goes 2 for 5. And that really is your game. I don't really look at it as a 4-0 game. It was basically a 1-0 game for a lot heading into the third period. And Winnipeg strikes for 3 in the third period, one of which was an empty net goal by Nikolai Ehlers, who I thought was absolutely terrific tonight. He gets the second star. Connor Hellebuck is your first star. Connor Hellebuck at home, much different than on the road. And Stars fans, you don't want to say it's a must win, but you have them on home turf where they struggle. Remember, Winnipeg has not won a playoff game on the road since 2023. And on Saturday night, you have an opportunity to take them out because none of us want to go back. I understand Pete DeBoer in Game 7 situations. But couldn't you see that being Pete DeBoer's first loss in his NHL career in a Game 7? I certainly could. With the way that the Stars are performed in the last 2 games up in Winnipeg, I tweeted out that I have the Jets winning 5 of the last 6 periods. I gave the third period of Game 4 to the Dallas Stars, where they exploded. I gave all 3 tonight to Winnipeg. So it's a frustrating loss, but this is the playoffs. And the good thing about the playoffs, it's just one game. And you have another opportunity to move on to the Western Conference Finals and to play Edmonton with a win on Saturday night. While the team overall did not look good, there was one shining star, and that was Jake Ottinger. Absolutely tremendous tonight. Did not receive a lot of help. Made big saves. The fact that this game was scoreless after 1 period and only down 1-0 after 2 periods, that was because of Jake Ottinger. So good. He continues to just show what he's all about during this playoff run for the Dallas Stars. And you can expect Jake Ottinger to be there on Saturday night, but the rest of the team has to be there as well. The team has to force Winnipeg to struggle coming out of their zone. Deep, effective forechecks. Got to get more shots on net. You cannot go into the third period with only 9 shots on goal. 9. You're not going to eliminate a team that is desperate with 9 shots on net through 2 periods. 22 for the game. That's not good enough. The penalties. Like I've said, I don't mind a hard penalty. Like, for instance, the penalty which began the 5-on-3 was a Petrovic trip. Unfortunately, his stick got between the Winnipeg player and the side of the goal. So it was pinned in there. And because of that, the stick made contact with the skate, and therefore it was a trip. I understand some of you are saying that's not a penalty. The announcers even said it's questionable. Well, we have to take a step back and realize the announcers have the ability to look at slow motion. But the fact of the matter was the stick caused the trip as much as the goal side did. So that's a trip. I get you, Stars fans. I get that you want this team to move on. But there were so many of you tonight that are blaming the refs for this loss. If you disagree with some of the calls, that's fine. But then you have to disagree with the fact that your team only had 9 shots on net in a Game 5 elimination game where you could have taken out the President's Trophy winners, and candidly, you just didn't play your game. You didn't look great tonight. You didn't have the legs. You didn't have the energy. You didn't outwill them. And it really concerns me that 5 out of the last 6 periods, I feel as though Winnipeg has been the better team. And then you commit silly, needless penalties, after the whistle penalties. We didn't see a lot of Mason Marchment in the third period. And maybe that was a message sent by Pete DeBoer, but my goodness. It just doesn't make sense. You can say that that punch was Rugi Odor-like. You could say that. If you truly feel as though that's your passion and Jamie Benn was sticking up for his guy, which I don't know who he's sticking up for. But I'm telling you, fortunate to talk to people around the league, okay? Does not have the cleanest of reputations. And we have to accept that as Stars fans. What he did to Mark Stone. The punch tonight. There are other examples. He deserved to get the game misconduct. And if I was Scheifele, I'd be hot. And if you think like that's my captain and he's sticking up for his guys, okay. But when Adam Lowry punches Wyatt Johnston on Saturday night, you have to live with that. Let me say that again. When the captain of the Winnipeg Jets, Adam Lowry, steps in and gets a punch in on one of the Stars players, one of the better Stars players, if he gets kicked out, great, but you have to accept it, right? You can't say our punch was rightful and then the next game that their punch is cheap shotting. You don't punch another player when the lineman's there. No, you just don't do that. And maybe the game was out of the reach. And maybe the Stars are sending a message to the next game. And maybe this is playoff hockey. I just personally don't like to see it. That's just me. I like good, hard, physical play, but I just think that punch was over the line. We have some lines that just are not performing. I know Duchesne hit a post, but that depth scoring just has not been there on a consistent basis. Just when you think that they're getting that depth scoring going, they get blanked. And all the more reason for Winnipeg to concentrate on Mikko Rantanen. It just wasn't there tonight. And the good news is that that's okay, because now you're up 3-2 and you can close it out. But when you look at Mikko Rantanen playing nearly 25 minutes, 24:58, and only 4 shots on net. So Winnipeg did a nice job, and I thought they did a real nice job keeping the Stars players away from Hellebuck, keeping the Stars to the outside. Sure, Stars had some chances. Hellebuck made some nice saves, but overall just was not tested, was not flustered, saw most of the pucks. But you know what? They're so good at home. They're a good home team. And they won the President's Trophy for a reason. So let's give them credit tonight. And let's whoop them on Saturday night. Let's pop Frosties on Saturday night, right? We absolutely should. We deserve it. And let's get ready for just a wagon of a team, the Edmonton Oilers, as they'll be well rested. But business in front of us. Have to win Game 6. I do not want a Game 7 on Monday night. And I know you guys don't as well. All right. Jeffrey at JLux007. I hate yelling shoot because the players know more than us whether there's a shooting lane. But man, I was yelling shoot a lot. Also feel crazy thinking Mikko should go back to fewer minutes and just double shift as needed. Less is more. You know what? I'm kind of with you at that point. I think I'm ready to go back to 12 and 6. I want to see that extra forward. Honestly, I think Blackwell needs to be reinserted. I think he provides a lot of energy. I know some of you think that this is the Colin Blackwell show on Spits and Suds, but I just like what he brings to the table. Reed Copeland, penalties finally caught up to the boys. Winnipeg capitalized. Other than that, I thought the forwards looked gassed at times. I did as well. I'd expect going back to 12-6 in Game 6 with Blackwell coming back in. Miro looks solid. Just a stinker that needs to be flushed. Stars in 6. You know, one thing that this and the Colorado series have shown is that momentum only lasts for that game. Saturday's a fresh day. And that game will be broadcast on ABC. Okay, Jeremy J. Probably the last game for Petrovic. Stars need 4 full lines. The offense hasn't looked the same with 11 and 7. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't disagree. I want to go back to 12-6. I want to get normal lines going. I want the occasional rant and double shift, but I want to keep them fresh. Husky says, while I still feel Dallas has this, it's definitely a bold move to A, play another uninspired road game with a chance to end things, B, not scoring a road goal since halfway of Game 1. Letter C, awakening the regular season best power play by taking so many needless, unforced, and stupid penalties. Certainly, the untimeliness. And that's a tough call with Esa Lindell, but yeah, he tripped them. So that creates a 5-on-3, and you knew Winnipeg was going to capitalize on that. You just knew. And unfortunately, that made it 2-0. And when it was 2-0, I was talking with somebody, and I just told them I thought the game was over at that point. I just did not see any sign of life from the Stars. I'm not saying they didn't put in the effort. It just wasn't there tonight. Adam Deacon, time to say goodbye to the 11 and 7. Go back to 12 forwards, Gavin. Blackwell needs to come back in for Game 6. We need this bite and tenacity. These penalties are going to continue to hurt us unless we get this sorted out. It's a big problem with this team, self-inflicted. Yeah, I agree. Definitely self-inflicted. Be patient after the whistle. New Metal Alchemist. Who realistically thought we were going to win this game? They were in desperation mode. I mean, it would have been nice, my man, but I understand what you're saying. They were in desperation mode, and I just wish the Stars were in a little bit more desperation mode. Eric, they haven't scored in 8 periods there. Unacceptable. Yeah, they just need to play better, and that's why you don't want a Game 7. If the Stars lose on Saturday night, like I said, I understand the Pete DeBoer undefeated record, but Are you guys really going to be optimistic after Winnipeg has won 2 straight and now they're heading back to home with just a raucous crowd? Jordan H., how did 4 look tonight? Hard to tell on the radio broadcast. I'll have my rant for 27-14 for the offseason. I think 4 was good. I think 4 can be better. I think Miro Heiskanen can still be better. I think he's getting his game legs underneath. I think he's playing more minutes. I think he's ready to be a top 6 defenseman. Played 1833, so obviously those minutes are going up. I still would not play him as much as Harley's playing or Lindell's playing, but I think probably next game you could move him up into the 20 range. So I'm ready for 6 defense. So I think he's playing well. He played a little bit on the power play, so he's getting his legs under. I mean, it's tough to knock number 4 when he's been out since January. It really is. It's just tough to come back. You know, one thing I do appreciate with, speaking of injuries, Jason Robertson, man, I mean, it's not happening as far as scoring goals, but he certainly is an agitator as far as after the whistle getting close to Hellebuck. Jason Robertson's basically in every single scrum, so I appreciate that. What the Blickens? Not worried. Frosty's coming our way Saturday. Boy, that would be nice if we pot Frosty. Smegs or Smeeks. Dead even numbers at 5-on-5. Just got to stay out of the box. Also, Heiskanen was 90% at evens. I think he's ready to ramp up minutes and think DeBoer goals for percentage. I think DeBoer goes back to 6-12 or 12-6 in game 6. Sam Green, Jake's been fantastic. We need to generate some offense. I love Jamie, but man, where's the intensity to start the game? Where's the offensive intensity? I really do think we need to have a Jamie Benn off season, and it has to be in the off season because, you know, right now I want to focus on the playoffs. But yeah, him and Marchment are extremely frustrating to me. Be productive, not destructive, Sam says. I mean, I think we all suspected the game was over by that point, and dang, what a punch. Hey, caught him clean. No doubt about that. Probably will receive a fine, I believe. But we'll see. Steven at Steady Rhythms. I'm pretty confident they'll close out this series still, but the team game has failed to work for more games than not throughout the playoff run. I just think they have to put together consecutive periods, Steven. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, my estimation, and you might give the Stars another period. So if that's the case, Winnipeg's won 4 out of the last 6 periods. But I personally feel as though who's winning the ice, and I just feel as though Winnipeg has won the periods. Of course, the Stars took advantage of their opportunities. But, you know, talking with people after game 4, because I really like to get a sense like, all right, am I saying the right things? Am I talking about the right things? Are my eyes telling me the right things? So I would ask people, in my opinion, I felt as though Winnipeg won 2 out of the 3 periods in game 4. And they said, you know what? You're right. Just Stars took advantage of their opportunities. All right. Most of the wins have come from individual performances. Otter and forward of the night. You can't beat this Oilers team like that. Well, that's a really good point. You don't want to look ahead to Edmonton, but they do need to play a team game. Just can't have these individual efforts. Would love to see some kind of depth in scoring. And, you know, honestly, would love some more pressure offensively from the defensemen. But they're working really hard to get out of their own zone right now. Brett the S-Man fart. Miro looked great. 11-7 has run its course. Green Star in Nashville. We knew the Jets would play desperate. It would be tough. I just wish the boys could have gotten one. Some questionable calls late in the game, but Dallas really shot themselves in the foot by coming out and not playing with urgency. So on the questionable calls, I'll just say this, because I'm not going to be hypercritical of people that feel as though the refs cost them this game. I'll just say this. You know how we say that you create your own puck luck? In other words, Winnipeg clearly had the momentum in this game. Therefore, Scheifele's double rebound goal that went in to make it 1-0, while it is puck luck off of Wyatt Johnston's stick, off of Thomas Harley, and into the net, while it is puck luck, they created that momentum. They created that puck luck. So I would say the same thing about penalties being called. Right now, you have a self-created reputation. Remember, and referees can also look at stats. You were at the bottom of the league in a category that's not good to be in. Most shorthanded minutes, which means you were on the kill, I believe, more than anybody minus one team in the NHL. So if you keep continuing to commit these penalties like they did toward the end of the season, like they did in the second half of the season, like they did in the first round, that reputation will cause penalties to be called. So restraint equals less penalty minutes. I'll say that again. Restraint equals less penalty minutes. Sure, you're going to get called for the occasional trip. You're going to get called for the occasional boarding or the cross-check or slash. That's playoff hockey. But you have to get rid of these needless penalties after the whistle. There's defending your teammates, and then there's knowing when to walk away. In this case, skate away. All right, Chris Barnard, I'd like to see Bork come back in, Steele out. Ooh, that's tough. I really feel as though Sam Steele's played well in this series. 12-6, and maybe Dumba in for Petrovic. Wow. Matt Dumba? See, I just don't think so at this point. I personally feel as though you are going to most likely, if you go 6, you will go Harley, Heiskanen, Lindell, Ceci, Lyubushkin, Bischel. And why go Lyubushkin? Because Lyubushkin kills penalties. Petrovic's the man out. Noah Brown, this one sucks, no doubt about it, but kind of expected it. Winnipeg is a really good hockey team, even better one at home. Thankfully, they won game 1, so it's simple. We just have to win at home, win one more, and we advance. Sleep well, Stars fans. We got this, believe. I like that optimism. Millsy, Jake deserved better. Jets were desperate, but offense sucked. Jamie Benn must watch a lot of Shorzy. Good TV reference, Millsy. Zach Bradford. What's happening with deflected goals going in against us? I'll tell you what. It's not just against the Stars. It's against every team in the NHL. This has been crazy as far as the deflections and bounces. Get shots on net because they are being deflected in this 2025 playoffs. Is it our man-on-man defense, or is it puck luck or positioning? I think it's mostly puck luck, bad puck luck. I'm at a loss, but it continues to happen. And like I said, it continues to happen around the league, Zach, so it's not just a Stars thing. Simon Cave, stay out of the box, and stick tap to you for putting together a great show. Thanks so much, Simon. I appreciate it. Chris Stabkoven, just need to come out mad in game 6 and not get bullied. Simple as that. Yeah. I like that. I still believe the Stars can close this thing out, my friend. Gonna stay optimistic. Yeah. Definitely have to stay optimistic. Mark R. I do like the Stars with some anger. Would have been nice for the effort earlier, but should get them lathered up back home. All right. There are those that call me Tim. This is a team loss brought by a faulty Pete DeBoer logic. He wanted them to sit back and weather the storm, but when they couldn't generate any offense, he never opened up their game, and it was way too late. The power play has been atrocious. Yeah, power play was not good at all. Okay, so that does it. There's a lot of other about the officiating and the calls that were or were not made, but I will just say this. In my opinion, the officiating did not cost this team the game. The lack of sustained offense cost them this game. They held on as much as they could, led by Jake Ottinger, But in the end, special teams were also an issue. Stars 0 for 4 on their power play. Winnipeg 2 for 5. And that's usually the difference, just like it was in game 4, that time in the Stars' favor. Tonight, Winnipeg's power play woke up, and it was the difference in tonight's game. But we have a game 6 on Saturday night, Stars fans. Good opportunity to get all lathered up. The AAC will be a rocking barn. Also, awesome to see so many people in national broadcasts pointing out that they have to come to Dallas and watch a game because of the raucous environment, because it looks so cool, and that hockey was alive and well in the South. So sayings like that is because of you, Stars fans. So congratulations and stick tap to you. And honestly, Victory Plaza looks so cool tonight. That was super cool. You guys were stacked back to the road. And it was, I know the game didn't end up like it should, but how cool was it that so many of you came out and came together to watch the Stars? So we'll be back with another episode, maybe even tomorrow, previewing Game 6, Dallas, Winnipeg, still 3-2 Stars. I think you need to win on Saturday night. We'll be back with another episode soon on Spits and Suds. Until then, have a great day, everyone.